Now let's get to Senator McSally, who's in Tucson today with Don Jr. Senator, what a day to be out there with Don Jr. when this bombshell comes out, an October surprise finally in favor of Republicans. What's your reaction to this corruption where Joe Biden seems to have lied about never talking about business, especially the Burisma Ukrainian stuff with his son, when emails from his own son's computer clearly show they have?
Yeah. Hey, Garrett. Good morning. It's going to be great to be with Don Jr. today. I hope everybody can get out there and rally to help President Trump get across the finish line here with 20 days to go. Yeah, I saw that story pop this morning. I've been going nonstop since 5. I don't think anybody believed that Joe Biden never talked to his son about his position on the board of Burisma. I mean, give me a break. I don't think anybody believed those denials. It'll be interesting to see, where this laptop came from, and it somehow got dropped off to get repaired and nobody ever picked it up. I mean, they get the Darwin Award for that, if that's what they did while they were trying to hide all this stuff. But, seriously, I think it just reveals again, that should Joe Biden win, which we need to stop here in Arizona, you're going to have just additional grifting going on. The elite in our country, Biden and his cronies and his family and Mark Kelly and all his, this is what the political elite does, right? They see how they can gain influence. They try to profit off the positions that they're in. And that's why Donald Trump got elected. And that's why he needs to get reelected in order to ensure this, Joe Biden doesn't get back in there.
I mean, we've had it with corruption, right? We've had it with this. And the media ran for years about the Russia hoax and the Ukrainian phone call and impeachment. They ran with that. And now they're defending Joe Biden, trying to say that this really can't be true. But when it comes to the corruption, I mean, Joe Biden, it's not just Ukraine, in the Ukraine, it's China. It's the Middle East with his brother and with his son. It's all there. And then we look at it on a local level. I mean, Mark Kelly, your opponent, they right here in Pima County, Worldview. One of the investors in it is Tencent, which is the tech giant that literally does all the censorship, right, for the Chi-Com government, censorship of the internet.
Yep, exactly. Again, this is just an example of what the elite has been doing in America, right? They look to, be able to profit off of connections, profit off of, government relationships, and this is Mark Kelly's story. He went over to China, as I talked about in the debate, in 2003 on this Chinese propaganda arm retreat, trying to bring the elite in America into their orbit, and it succeeded and went back in 2004, back in 2005, said it was the most meaningful thing he did in his life other than going to space, which is bizarre, and then went to space in 2006, brought the Chinese Communist banner with him because it was so meaningful to him, and then he gets out of retires from the military and starts a company in Tucson and reaches out to Tencent to invest in his company. Tencent is viewed as a national security threat. They are close to the Chinese government, and you don't just pick up the phone and call Tencent. He had to have had those relationships already, which started to form while he was still active duty Navy, going over to China and then profiting off it, trying to get rich quick. Look, we want people to be able to prosper in America, right, Garrett? We care about hard work, start a business, be an entrepreneur, and prosperity is not a bad thing. But what the elite has done is they've built prosperity off relationships and, corruption and access. And that's what the Americans and Arizonans are against. And that's what's at stake here in my election as well.
Senator Martha McSally is on KNST AM 790. Again, going to be with Don Jr. out in Tucson, 12:30 at the Port of Tucson. That's where this whole thing is happening. You can go see what they have to say. Cheer them on. It's always great when these kinds of events happen. Just to go back to that. I mean, if you're an American, especially as a member, he was part of the Navy. I mean, you're claimed to be a patriot. I sit here and question, how can this guy want to be a senator when he literally knows that he's doing business with communists and a company that is in charge of censoring the internet? With that kind of judgment, how can he be trusted to be a senator for the United States representing Arizona?
Yeah, he can't, is the point. It's disqualifying. And as you said, Tencent has been basically cracking down and censoring, Chinese citizens in Hong Kong and other places. They are collecting information wherever they can. They're a Chinese state-owned company, and Mark Kelly is in business with them. And, many other Americans are too, but that doesn't mean you get to be a senator, is the point. China is our biggest geopolitical threat. They unleashed this virus on us. They've been stealing our jobs, stealing our technology, stealing our research, President Trump was the first one to stand up to them. I am standing up to them. This is the critical national security issue of this election, is standing up to China. And we cannot allow Joe Biden and Mark Kelly to be in there with their deep financial ties. It is disqualifying.
As a senator, with China being such a threat, and I've followed this on great websites that do all kinds of great reporting about how college campuses and universities basically get paid off by China to have people there, and then they set up shop, like U of A, ASU. They both had it, where they set up shop, and the colleges themselves can't even get in there. It's like it becomes like a Chinese embassy almost, where they just set up shop and steal information. I mean, should they be banned? If you were a senator, what would you do to crack down on China stealing our intellectual property, getting on our campuses, stealing everything that we're doing?
Well, we're already doing it. Again, people are waking up to it, that China's been doing this in plain sight, as you mentioned, access to our research institution, our universities, trying to have basically their propaganda arm while they steal our technology, steal our jobs. So we're already cracking down on this. I mean, I'm on a bill with Rick Scott and some others specifically about a full review of all students who are here, doing research and their visa applications, and those who are associated potentially with, the Chinese military. They're using our free society and our open system to their benefit, and it's like joke's on us, right? So we've got to take a full review of the access that they have, both legally and illegally. I mean, they do cyber attacks and they take our stuff. But in many cases, they are taking it legally because we're giving them access through technology transfers, joint ventures or, research access and things like that. So it's time for America to wake up. We need to take a full review of our own security here, do everything we can to hold China accountable and ensure that we bring our manufacturing home so we're not relying on them for our PPE and our pharmaceuticals and critical minerals we need to, make an F-35, or our defense equipment. I mean, this is a wake-up call for America. This is very much what this election is about, and that's why President Trump has to get reelected and why I've got to get elected and make sure that Mark Kelly's not in the Senate.
And one of those things, reason to get you in there is what's going on right now with the Supreme Court with Amy Coney Barrett.
Yes.
And, first off, I don't know how you work with these people. Like, I'm watching that White House guy. I'm watching Hirono asking if she sexually assaulted anybody. Cory Booker asked her if she's against white supremacy and she has 2 black children. What is going on here? Now, she has been so impressive. She is so smart. And one of the telling parts of the debate last week with Mark Kelly was that before even hearing any words she says, he said last week in the debate, I would not vote to confirm her without even asking questions or know anything about her. That's a big deal.
Well, I was surprised he actually said that, Garrett. He tends to not take a position on anything because he's hiding. But I forced him to answer that, and he said no. And the reason he said no is because, of course, when he's not going to get elected, but should they're going to want liberal activist judges on the bench packing the court. And how dare he say that he would not put this highly qualified woman who's risen to the top of her field, who's brilliant, unflappable. If anybody's watching her, every schoolroom in America should be tuning into these hearings to learn about our Constitution, learn about what an originalist and a textualist is. Look at these people on the other side of the aisle and how they're conducting themselves. Sorry, I almost used a not nice word. And how they're conducting themselves versus her. And she belongs on that court. And I'm going back to D.C. next week. We are going to confirm her. This seat, should there be any delays, of course, whoever wins my election will be seated right away. And Mark Kelly showed his true colors. He's a activist liberal who would be voting in line with Chuck Schumer, bought and paid for, and we've got to stop him.
Last one for me, Senator Martha McSally on KNST AM 790. Mark Kelly spent years going on cable news, going on Sunday shows, talking about gun control. Amazing he has been that quiet for the past year here in Arizona, because a lot of Democrats own guns in Arizona, a lot of independents too. Right. We got to smoke this guy out. Not even the media is asking him. I know he's like hiding like Biden also in his basement. What could be done to smoke this guy out about his record, to let people know exactly what he's going to do about guns, which is to confiscate them?
Well, I did it in the debate last week. I wanted to make sure people realize, he said he's not talking about it because, he just answers questions people ask. Give me a break. He's not talking about it because he knows Arizona cares about the Second Amendment, and he has spent the last decade leading, raising money for one of the most sophisticated, liberal, extremist gun confiscation, gun control organizations in modern history. So people should not be fooled about this. The media lets him get away with it. All he has to say is, I own guns, or I support the Second Amendment. but look at what they support. I mean, they support, saying California's got, good gun laws. Give me a break. People are leaving California because their Second Amendment rights are being violated. And we've got to ensure that law-abiding citizens have their right to bear arms. We're one vote away in the Supreme Court on this, as you know, the Heller decision. So the courts matter for this. The legislation matters. But he's hiding about this. He's not being truthful because they know the agenda that they have is out of step with Arizona, and he's trying to get independents and moderate Republicans to vote for him, and even Democrats who care about the Second Amendment. I'm your Second Amendment senator. I put my life on the line for our constitutional freedoms and our rights, was willing to give my life, shot the biggest gun of anybody in Congress, like I said in the debate. But this is such a serious issue, and he would be the national leader on this, along with Robert Francis O'Rourke, to take away our guns. So we've got to stop it, and we're trying to smoke them out. We're doing it, in the debate. We're doing it in a bunch of our messaging. We need people to talk to their friends and neighbors. We've got to hold the line, you guys. We're neck and neck. We're down to the wire. Every vote really matters. This is going to decide the Senate majority and the presidential race.
All right, Senator McSally, have fun with Don Jr. today in Tucson, 12:30, Port of Tucson. You can head down there. Thanks for the time this morning. We'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good, Garrett. Take care. See you.
All right, you too. Be well. Senator